Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today on this wonderful Sunday morning. We are here to celebrate our second anniversary. It's been a nice 2 year long journey with Think Right, and we're also kickstarting our webinars today. But before that, I would like to invite our vice chairman of Jet Synthesis and the founder of ThinkRight.me to say a few words and tell us what the morning is going to be about. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Jyoti, and a very good Sunday morning to all of you who have joined us on this special occasion where we complete 2 years of a wonderful journey that has actually taken Jet Synthesis from just a new age digital company to a very clear digital for good company. And I don't think there is any other product or any other platform that we have embarked upon that can very clearly define, this journey of what goodness means to all of us in a digital world. I think all of us are surrounded by digital in this entire period that we have experienced. It's been a challenging time for the world, but in a digital world, we have just seen consumption and we have seen, accelerated amount of engagement, which has been unprecedented in the past. And I think what we are having today here is also a reflection of exactly the same phenomenon that has captured the world. But to really be able to say digital for good, I think we believe is when what you consume digitally is not only making you feel good temporarily, but it's something that is going to transform one's life a little bit at a time, every day, through this entire period. And I must say, I'm also very privileged to welcome here Sister Shivani, who has not only been the inspiration but also the architect of this wonderful platform that we have tried to bring out through a digital medium to all of you. The genesis of Think Right really started in a conversation that we were having, where we realized that many times we find that our education system or everything else that we do teaches us how we should speak or how we should act. And they'll always be taught, and we'll always teach our children, jhoot mat bolo, don't hit anyone. One thing we fail to probably realize most of the time is that whether it is any speech or any action, the source of that is really the thought. First we think, that, oh, this person said something because of which, I'm angry and I'm going to therefore, hit the person. Or even if I want to speak a lie, you're thinking why you're going to speak that lie and why it's relevant before you actually speak it. So whatever we do in life, the end goal is thought. And somehow, whether we look at our education system, whether we look at our workplaces, we somewhere miss that connection between thought to speech and action. And we felt that this was therefore a very opportune time and platform for us to bring to the world, where what thinkrite.me basically does is puts in and seeds a good thought early in the morning for you, enables you to take that thought through the day, reflect upon it, and then just try and benchmark yourself, whether that thought was something that enabled you to speak and, act in a manner that you felt comfortable. It could be a simple thought like, I'm not going to get angry today. And every time you think you're going to get angry, you at least are beginning to realize that the genesis of that anger comes from thought. And then through a daily journey of different kinds of affirmations, what thinkrite.me really tries to attempt to do is to enable you to make this a process of your life, to make it something that you start doing on a daily moment to moment basis. And I think that change, that transformation that has started out through this platform, both for India and for the rest of the world, is what excites Sister Shivani, what excites the entire Jet Synthesis ecosystem. being able to make a little impact, make a little, kind of a hope for change in the world, one person at a time for 7 billion around the world. And it's interesting I say that because, mathematically, if you look at how you can actually add something to your life, if you take 1 raised to 365 days, which are there in a year, the power of 1 to 365 is 1. But if we were able to, do 1% more each day of our life, each day of a year, if you take 1.01 and raise that, as equation 2 to 365, the answer is actually 37.8. So the impact of you being able to do something incrementally every day, transforms the impact in a year about 37 times. And I think that kind of transformation really comes only if we are able to spend that little 1% extra every day. If we look at it the other way around, if you take away 1%, of the time that you would have otherwise spent on something like this, and you go to 0.99 and you raise that to 365, and you're doing that every day, it comes below 0.03, the third equation, right? The final outcome. So if I were to look at the difference between equation 2 and equation 3, between 37.8 and 0.03, it's about 1500 times. So, the choices we make, the actions that we, kind of work upon really shape and define the way our life will be in the present and continue to be in the future. And there is, I must say, there is some magic in this consistency. I think many of us feel it, experience it, but there is an ability for each one of us to see how we can, move and change our lives. And this is really what is something that we have tried to do, with ThinkRight.me. Around the world, if you see, many a times, we find that the word that gets a lot of attention, or the word that, the world recognizes, is thought leadership. I mean, there's a reason why the word thought is attached prior to leadership, because any action, any change begins with a thought, whether it is a movement that, Mahatma Gandhi led for freedom in India, or whether it is a scientific discovery, anything that we look like in life, really the germination of any massive change has started with thought. So I think the ability for us to be able to, be at the source of that entire creation, the thought, and being able to make that right in our own personal lives is really the journey what ThinkRight.me, puts you upon. And I think it is really therefore, what we are able to bring about as a change in our lives. I mean, and if we look at most of our thoughts, especially in most people, it's about, what we want, and then we spend time on how we go about getting it. Just think about it, right? If these are our thoughts, and if these can be positive, they can be energized, whatever is the end outcome, whether it is happiness, well-being, will be there for all of us to take. And I think we have a very nice community that we have built over these 2 years who have benefited from this, who are testimony to this. And our only goal is to continue to do more and see how we can upgrade this platform to be able to, not only bring out the goodness in each person, not only be able to bring out, a change one person at a time, but collectively, make an impact on the future of the world. And more so in a time, that we have seen so deeply challenged, by the world. So we are very excited about the 2 year journey. And, I know all of you are here today to be part of a conversation with someone who has been the anchor, the person who has really been the inspiration around this journey. She is someone who not only, you know, exemplifies what ThinkRight.me stands for, but is actually the, I would really like to say, the power behind, the entire journey of transformation that will matter in the years to come. At a national level, Sister Shivani has been recognized with the prestigious Nari Shakti Award conferred by the President of India in 2019. And the interesting part about Sister Shivani is that, her background in engineering, her scientific approach combined with the spiritual depth, that we have all been witness to in all these years, really, position her thoughts and her kind of, I would say, examples of practical daily things that we can, do as one that sets everything else apart. And as an acknowledgement of that, she's also been recognized, as a goodwill ambassador of the World Psychiatric Association. So I think in Sister Shivani, we have a complete person who can guide us, build us on a journey on where we can progress, as a community. The good part about thinkrite.me is we've also been able to bring in a number of masters, a number of other people who bring different aspects to shape the future of thought, both in your life and in the world. And we'll continue to be having a large number of webinars, taking upon this entire digital for good theme as we continue to move forward. So, anyways, without any further ado, thank you again for joining us on this wonderful journey and this wonderful Sunday morning. And I'm going to hand it over now to Sister Shivani.
Om Shanti and good morning. Thank you, Rajan, for giving us the thought behind why we started thinkrite.me. Because everything starts with a thought. Even you being here, all of you being here on a Sunday morning was a thought. Till you create a thought about it, it will not come into your word and into your behavior. So it's the thought which is so important. The thought is the seed of our life. वो बीज है, जीवन हमारा वृक्ष है. So the thought is the seed, then our body, then our relationships, then our work, then our environment. That's the tree of our life. What we have been doing for many, many years is we are working very, very hard on the tree of our life. We want to water every leaf, nurture every fruit, every flower, but we generally said we don't have time to water the seed. I remember when we used to tell before COVID, after COVID, a lot of things have changed actually. But before COVID, when we used to ask people, spend 10-15 minutes in meditation daily. So a very impromptu reply would be, मरने की भी फुर्सत नहीं है, आप कहते हो सुबह सुबह मेडिटेशन के साथ शुरू करो, अभी तो दिन के बाकी काम नहीं पूरे हुए, तो अपने लिए बैठ के थोड़ी meditate कर लेंगे. So we thought spending time with ourselves, nurturing ourselves, is being selfish when we haven't finished our other responsibilities of the day. And most of us always feel we are short of time. So, busy has been a very powerful affirmation for the last 1 decade. I'm busy, I'm busy, I'm busy, I don't have time, is an affirmation which we have all been repeating. And so we said, we don't have time to water the seed because we were busy with the tree. And we all know that if we don't water the seed, but however hard we work on the tree, can the fruits and the flowers be healthy? Can the tree be healthy if the seed and the roots are not strengthened? And that's how important is this seed. Every thought we create, please keep this with you always. It's very, very important. Every thought we create, the first thing that it influences is our feelings. So, thought creates our feelings. So, when we say, I'm feeling low today, I'm not feeling very happy today, I'm feeling upset today, it's starting with some thought. So, I have to go down and check what I was thinking. So, our mental health, which is another epidemic, WHO this year has said mental health is going to be the focus for the world after COVID, which means March 23rd, our lockdown started. April 25th, the Indian Psychiatric Association said in India, 20% rise in mental health issues in 1 month after knowing about the COVID and the lockdown. The month in which majority were at home, we were safe, we were secure, but our mind did not have the power to suddenly think that life is not in my control, that I am vulnerable. Anything can happen to me or to my family. So even though we were safe, we were at home, we were scared. We were scared. And as a community all over the world, we said, it's natural. It's natural to create fear and anxiety. So billions of us created fear and anxiety together. So three situations came to us together. One was COVID. Second was lockdown. Many did not find lockdown very simple. There has been a huge rise in conflicts in relationship. Of course, there have been many relationships which have got healed because they were together in the lockdown, but there's been a huge rise in conflicts in relationship. Counseling centers and helplines have been flooded with domestic violence, abuse, and suicide attempts. This is 1 month of lockdown. So, COVID, lockdown, and third was the ups and downs in the business and industry. So the fear of losing my job or a cut down in my salary, even before it had already happened, if it had happened, but before it had already happened, but all the content that I as an individual was getting from media, oh, the economy will crash, 2020, write it off, those big, big headlines that we were consuming, it took a toll on human minds. And which means, yes, there was a crisis, but my mind did not have the power to face the crisis because I do not nourish the seed, the thought on a daily basis. So my mind was dependent on the situation. So mental health got affected. So my thought is responsible for my mental health. Second, my every thought radiates to every cell of my body. And that's why doctors say most diseases are lifestyle diseases. They are psychosomatic diseases. So, lifestyle doesn't mean just eating, drinking, sleeping, exercising. Life, Jivan, life is here. Life is not here. What we are doing is not life. Life is this energy. जब ये life निकल जाती है, this is a body left. हम कहते हैं ये dead body है. This is a body that's left because the life is gone. So, lifestyle means the way I think. What's my lifestyle? How do I think in response to every scene of my life? So, lifestyle diseases. So, my physical health, largely responsible from here. Third, my every thought radiates to people. तो हम जिसके बारे में सोचते हैं, whoever I think about, even before I pick up my phone to send a message to them, my actual thought has radiated to them. What we call vibrations, what we call telepathy. Telepathy is not happening once in a while, it's always. Our thoughts are reaching people whom we are thinking about. And so our relationships are based on how we think. You can be very nice to somebody in your words. You can be perfect to people in your behavior. But if we are critical or judgmental about them in our thinking, if we have unfulfilled expectations, if we are hurt about something, if we are holding on to the past, if we have not forgiven them, if there is something I'm holding here about them, my relationship does not stand on a strong foundation. Again, because I was working on the tree, which means I was perfect in how I behaved, what I gave, what I did for them, and what I spoke to them. But I was not changing how I think about them. And we all can see our relationships. They become very fragile. Very fragile. We say पता ही नहीं किसको विश्वास करे किसको नहीं कब कौन बदल जाता है कब कौन धोखा देता है. Our relationships are fragile. Again, because we were taking care of the tree. And the fourth, our every thought radiates into the environment and influences nature. Scientists are talking about climate change. Scientists are telling us about the environment. But climate change, environment cannot be taken care of till we take care of our emotions, our thoughts. It's in the air, it's influencing the water, it's influencing the fruits, the vegetables, everything. Everything. And we all can see evidence of that at home itself. Your thoughts, your vibrations influence the pets in your house. So take the same breed of an animal. Their nature, their personality will be different in different houses. Depends on the minds of the people living in that house. Take two plants. You can experiment this for the next 1 month. Keep two plants in your balcony. Water both of them daily, same plants. One plant you water because you have to water it, majboori se pani dena. And so while watering it, you can even say time bhi nahi hai, pani bhi dena padta hai, mujhe hi sara kaam karna padta hai, but yet water the plant because we think the plant only needs water. And then you water the second plant with a lot of love and care, and both the plants will grow in a very different way. Though both were watered, both had the sunlight, but both had different emotions. So, which is a proof our mind influences nature. The flora and fauna of the planet is influenced by our vibrations. So, that's the power of our every thought. It affects my feelings, it affects my body, it affects my relationship, it affects the planet, the environment. And yet, we say, I don't have time to take care of my thoughts. So that's something which has changed now during COVID, because most of us have realized we need to take responsibility. We need to make taking care of ourselves a priority. Because what happened when COVID came? It just came like a situation to us. Suddenly, one day, we hear, here, this is it. Suddenly, one day, we are told, okay, from tonight, 12 o'clock, you're not going out of your house for 15 days. These were sudden situations which came into our life. And as was the situation, so was my reaction. Because the situation was not favorable, my reaction was not favorable. And I thought this was normal. Why? Because even before COVID, so let's go to 2019, we were living a life where we believed that situations were responsible for how we think and feel. Just go to 2019, because right now we've all got common situations which we are blaming for our feelings. Go to 2019, check your vocabulary. I'm angry because of fill in the blank. I'm upset because of fill in the blank. I'm happy because of. Every time there was something that had to happen outside for me to be angry, happy, irritated, peaceful, I'll go to so and so place, then I will be peaceful. I need to go to a holiday to be happy. I need to meet someone to feel good about myself. I need to eat something to feel nice. Everything outside needed to be some way for me to be here the right way. So, to think right, I needed the world to be right. I needed people's behaviors to be right. I needed the weather to be right. I needed the government policies to be right. I needed my body to be feeling right. If everything was right, and that to right according to my way, if the whole world, my world, was right according to my way, then thinking right is very easy. Then it's very easy, because I believed my mind was dependent on situations. जबकि हम बचपन से सुनते आए हैं, मन जीते जग जीते, मतलब मन को जीतोगे तो अपने जग को जीतोगे. संकल्प से सृष्टि. Our thoughts create our world. Srishti is our world, our body, our work, our family, our environment. This is our world. Sankalp se srishti. Thoughts manifest, thoughts radiate, thoughts become a reality, thoughts create my world. We know this equation, but we were not living this equation. We were not living this equation. So that is a life of emotional dependence, where everything that's happening here is dependent on the world outside. And so we kept requesting the world to be perfect. We said, ठीक हो जाओ यार, ताकि मेरा मन शांत रहे, प्यार से बात कर लो तो मैं खुश हो जाऊं. We were emotionally dependent on the world, and we kept requesting the world to change so that I will be happy. Equation went wrong. We said Srishti se sankalp. I need the Srishti to be perfect for my sankalp, my thoughts to be right. So the basic equation needs to be taken care of. And so while we were living a life of emotional dependence, came COVID, and together we said fear and anxiety is normal. How can fear and anxiety be normal if there is a crisis? Even for a simple school exam, which is a pressure, a crisis situation for a child. आज मेरा exam है, आज मेरा exam है. We used to tell the child, टेंशन नहीं लेना, डरना नहीं, relax करो, नहीं तो गलती हो जाएगी exam के अंदर. So even to a child, we taught them before an exam, you need a calm, peaceful mind. Globally, we had an exam, there was a crisis, and we said stress, pressure, anxiety is normal. So we went with the wrong equation. And you know what we did with that? We lowered the vibrations of the planet. In this last year, we have collectively lowered the vibrations of the planet at a time when the planet needed healing energy. The world needed healing energy. Disease all over the world needed healing energy. And together we radiated fear, worry, stress, anxiety, insecurity. This is our karma. We are responsible for what we are doing to the world. So now it's time to shift. Shift from being emotionally dependent to becoming emotionally independent. Emotionally independent. What is physical dependence? Physical independence. Today we are physically independent. You can walk, move, run, trek, do everything on your own. Tomorrow, if the body falls ill, we need someone's help to walk from one room to the next. We need help. And then we say, I've become dependent. Yes. So when do I become dependent? When I am unwell in my body, I start becoming dependent. Then I take care, I treat myself, again, I become independent. So I know what is independence, I know what is dependence. Now let's see the same thing in my mind. Let's see the same thing in my mind. If I am needing the world to be a certain way for me to be able to be happy, then that is dependence. What is independence? People will be their way. You can check today, Sunday, family time. People, including your children, will be their way. They will say things, do things which they believe is right. Sometimes they can say things which are not right according to you. Sometimes they can say things which are completely unacceptable to you. But how you are going to think is completely your choice. You cannot say, they irritated me. No. We cannot say, they are irritating people. No. We can say, I created the irritation in response to what they did. That is emotional independence. Their behavior was outside. My thoughts and feelings is my creation. अपने मन का रिमोट कंट्रोल अपने पास है. दुनिया के पास कभी था ही नहीं. हम समझते थे कि दुनिया के पास है, लेकिन वो कभी किसी के पास था ही नहीं. It was always with us. So we need to come back to reality. ये सत्य है that we are the creators of our thoughts and feelings. So one affirmation which we need to create many, many times a day and every single day is I. I am the creator of my every thought, feeling, word, and behavior. This is an affirmation. I am the creator of my every thought, feeling, word, and behavior. This is an affirmation which we need to repeat many, many times in the day because otherwise we repeat the opposite affirmation. I'm angry because of them. They hurt me. These are all affirmations. Affirmation is something we've done all our life. It's not something new. What is new is to consciously do positive affirmations. Otherwise, affirmations is something which is vocabulary. It's our vocabulary. You cannot do this. You are no good at this. These are all affirmations. तुमसे नहीं हो सकता, तुम छोड़ दो. This is an affirmation. मुझसे नहीं हो सकता. I cannot do this. This is an affirmation. मेरा शरीर ठीक नहीं चलता है, छोटी छोटी बातों में बीमार पड़ जाता है, is an affirmation. My immunity system is low, is an affirmation. My blood pressure is high, is an affirmation. Every thought that I repeatedly say and I believe is an affirmation. And every affirmation influences my reality. संकल्प से सृष्टि बनती है. So first equation, we are shifting from emotional dependence to emotional independence. Freedom, physical independence, financial independence, social independence, but सबसे ज़्यादा ज़रूरी emotional independence. Whatever may happen in the world, your world, at work, at home, in your body, anything that's happening in your jagat, your world, I have the power how to respond. I will choose how to think. So someone can be rude to me. I have a choice. I can be respectful. But why should I be nice to people who are not nice to me? Because my thinking right will influence my mental health, my physical health, my relationships, and my world. So I'm thinking right, not for them. No favor to people by being nice to them. I'm doing it as a favor to myself. I'm doing it for my healing. I'm doing it for building up my emotional immunity system. COVID is not just physical immunity I needed. Unless my mind is healthy, even my body cannot create a good physical immunity system. नहीं हो सकता है. सिर्फ काढ़ा पीने से, योगा करने से फिजिकल इम्यूनिटी सिस्टम ठीक नहीं होगा। इमोशनल इम्यूनिटी सिस्टम साथ साथ ठीक होना चाहिए। If I'm creating fear, if I'm holding on to the past, if I'm agitated, always hurrying, this radiates to my body and my physical immunity system gets affected. Fear is one of the biggest factors which affects the physical immunity system. So immunity is not just of the body, immunity is of the whole system, the mind and the body both. So if I keep reacting to people and situations and I deplete my emotional health, then it's my immunity which goes down. So they will be their way. I will choose the healthy way, the right way of responding. What is right for me? What is right for me? I have to. That's why I have to become very selfish in the way I am going to respond. Selfish because that is self care. Self care means first taking care of yourself. Only then you will be able to take care of anybody else outside. I cannot take care of anyone till I take care of my energy field, my vibrations. Remember जब हम फ्लाइट में जाते हैं तो एयर होस्टेस क्या बोलती है? If there is a turbulence, the oxygen mask will fall down. पहले किसको लगाना है? Can you visualize your child sitting next to you and you putting the oxygen mask to yourself before putting it to your child? Do you think we can do it? We have to do it. That's why they say it every single time. Don't make a mistake. Don't try and put it onto your child before you put it onto yourself. Otherwise, not safe for yourself and for your child. So पहले अपने आप को, which means first happiness here, first peace here, first health here, then you can give it to other people. हम अपनी पूरी जीवन ही लगा देते हैं, कहते हैं अपने बच्चों को खुशी देनी है, अपने बच्चों को ये देना है, अपने बच्चों को ये देना है, और इतनी मेहनत करके बच्चों के अंदर तो बहुत सारे और इश्यूज ही बढ़ गए. Children are talking about depression and anxiety attack and suicide attempt. तो हमारी मेहनत का रिजल्ट क्यों नहीं आ रहा है? We're putting in so much effort. रिजल्ट क्यों नहीं आ रहा है? Because we are trying to do for them without doing it for ourselves first. It doesn't work. Equations have to be right. Remember जब हम स्कूल में एग्जाम देते थे, sometimes we would take like 2 supplements and we used to come up and say, I took 2 supplements, so I'm going to get very good marks. I took an extra supplement. What if my first equation was wrong? Let me take 5 supplements after that. But if my first equation was wrong, I'm not even going to pass because my first equation was wrong. Similarly, in life, if my equation is wrong, I can work extremely hard. I can work extremely hard for myself, for my work, for my company, for my children, and yet everybody is not happy, not contented, not healthy. That means I've not passed in life. I cannot call myself successful. Why? My first equation was not right. तो ये जो जीवन की इक्वेशंस है ना, ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. अगर इक्वेशन राइट होगी, लाइफ में मेहनत नहीं करनी पड़ती है. लाइफ बहुत ईजी है, बहुत ईजी है, लेकिन इक्वेशन सही होनी चाहिए. इक्वेशन गलत हो, लाइफ बहुत डिफिकल्ट बन जाएगी. तो फर्स्ट इक्वेशन, आई एम द क्रिएटर. So that's emotional independence. From today, we're never going to say, because of them, I'm feeling like this. No. Even if I create hurt, never mind. Even if I get angry, never mind. I'll heal it. But I have to first remember that I am the creator. नहीं तो उनको ठीक करने की कोशिश करते रहते हैं कि तुम ठीक हो जाओ so that I heal myself. No, they did not hurt me. Their sorry is not going to heal me. So don't look at people like this. Sorry bolo, sorry bolo, sorry bolo. Not at all. This is emotional dependence. And emotional dependence is a depleter. Our emotional health will keep getting depleted and depleted if we blame people and situations. COVID is a situation. COVID is a situation. Calm, and peace is a solution. Is the solution for that COVID. We will need to be very, very stable. हमें अपनी बॉडी को सिर्फ प्रोटेक्ट नहीं करना है, हमें अपने माइंड को भी प्रोटेक्ट करना है इस कोविड के इम्पैक्ट से. So don't say fear and anxiety is normal. Say calm and stability is normal because there is a crisis on the planet. Calm and stability is the necessity. That's normal. So we need to change our definitions of normal. Normal की definition गलत हो गई, सब कुछ गलत हो जाएगा. Normal क्या है? So look at all that we labeled as normal. Stress normal, anger normal, irritation normal, criticism normal. Complaining normal, complaining normal, jealousy normal, comparison normal, and most important, competition normal. So emotional illness को normal बोल दिया. These were all disturbances. They were turbulent energies. Not good for the mind, not good for the body, not good for the world. What is emotional health? Gratitude, compassion, empathy, acceptance, sharing, caring, forgiveness, letting go, and most important, opposite of competition, cooperation. This is emotional health. This is emotional health, and this is normal. This is normal. So we need to just take a U turn. These used to be our normal definitions. Somewhere we got distracted and made disease as normal. Now we have to go back to calling the right words as normal so that we are the last generation who will be able to hand over the normal definitions to our children. Otherwise, they will carry on with our wrong definitions of normal. तो हमें उनको बताना पड़ेगा कि what is normal. You don't go to a child and say, tomorrow is your exam. तुम्हें डर नहीं लग रहा है? तुम्हें टेंशन नहीं हो रही है? बोर्ड का एग्जाम बच्चा 10th का पहला दिन देता है तो पूरा समाज उसको बोलना शुरू, अच्छा अच्छा तुम्हारा इस साल बोर्ड का एग्जाम है तो बड़ी टेंशन हो रही होगी. अबे तो उसको नहीं हो रही है टेंशन, तो नहीं कैसे नहीं हो रही है? तुम नॉर्मल नहीं हो, तुम्हें टेंशन नहीं हो रही है. रॉन्ग बिलीफ सिस्टम, उस बच्चे की फाउंडेशन ऑफ लाइफ सेटिंग ऑन अ रॉन्ग बिलीफ सिस्टम. And then on the day of the exam, when he is stressed, then you say, तुम्हें टेंशन क्यों हो रही है? तुम एग्जाम कैसे दोगे ठीक से? पूरा साल उसको कहा टेंशन होनी चाहिए, एग्जाम के दिन उसको बोला टेंशन नहीं होनी चाहिए. How? What are we doing with them? You know how many children nowadays take anti-anxiety medicines before their board exams? This is student life, which we used to call the best, carefree, happy life. This is student life. Will their mind be equipped to handle the exams of life if they can't handle a 10th, 12th exam without a medication? So, this is time to think as a parent and as a leader of an organization. So, now, second equation, Sankalp se Srishti. Sankalp se siddhi. Siddhi means manifestation. What do I want to manifest in my life? मतलब what do I want in my life? What do I want? कि क्या होना चाहिए मेरे जीवन में? What do I want to manifest? What should be my reality? Equation is sankalp se siddhi. Thoughts create reality. We went the other way around. We said, this is the reality. So obviously, I will feel like this. Energy is not going from reality to thoughts. Energy is creating thoughts to reality. Thoughts to reality, not reality to thoughts. So, simple example. Suppose you have a high blood pressure or you have diabetes or any ailment in the body. It's a reality. It's there. It's a reality. But thoughts are not supposed to be based on the reality. Thoughts are supposed to be those which will create a reality which you want to see tomorrow. So if I keep saying, I have diabetes, I have diabetes, I have high blood pressure, I have sugar, I have high cholesterol, I have thyroid, so I am radiating those thoughts. I have, I have, I have. And then the doctor says, ये बीमारी ना हमेशा रहने वाली है. तो आप जब तक हैं, तब तक आपको दवा लेनी है. We thought these ailments cannot go away because we were not changing our thinking. We were only taking the medication to manage the disease in the body. But who will heal my body? It is what I start thinking. What I start thinking. And you have enough evidence of this in the scientific world, enough books written on it by people who have created them as a miracle. But the world goes and calls it a miracle. So you go and read Louis Hay, and she will say she healed her cancer with thoughts, and we say miracle. They are not miracles. They are actually the normal way of thinking. They are the normal way of thinking. Miracle, what are we calling a miracle? Anyone who does something which is above the situations in their life, overpowers the situation of their life, we call it a miracle. Actually, that's normal way of living. Our mind is supposed to overpower the situations of our life. But what did we call normal? When the situations overpower our mind, we said normal. When the mind overpowers situation, we call it a miracle. And then there are very few miracles, and most of us are living normal. Actually, it should be the other way around. Most of us should be creating the miracles because it's mind over matter, not matter over mind. It's mind over matter. So everybody who starts using the power of their mind the right way will start experiencing miracles as a normal part of their life. उसको आप miracle बोलेंगे भी नहीं, वो आपकी normal part of life हो जाएगा. When you keep this equation, संकल्प से सिद्धि. So now if I do have high blood pressure or I do have diabetes, I change my thought process and I create a thought what I want the reality to be. So I want a healthy body. So my thought will be, my body is perfect and healthy. My body is perfect and healthy. Reality is right now, it's not. But I will not think what is the reality. Please get this equation right. I will not think what is the reality. I will think and speak what I want the reality to be. This is a science which our people, our ancestors knew this science. ये affirmation, visualization, these are words which are now. Sankalp se siddhi, sankalp se srishti is ancient Bharat culture. It is in our Sanskriti because they lived life only that way. They lived life only that way. So intuition, magic, miracles, this was normal part of life. Normal part of life. So I will start saying my body is perfect and healthy and will always be. My sugar levels are, and fill in the blank and enter your figure. My sugar levels are, and fill in the blank and enter your figure. Not the figure what it is today, the figure what you want to create. My blood pressure is fill in the blank. My thyroid is fill in the blank. My cholesterol is fill in the blank. I can take the best diet, I can exercise, but I also need to change it here. Change it here. So think that and speak that. Now, this is a miracle we will create with our body, healing energy to the body. Same we can do in our relationships. Suppose मेरा किसी के साथ conflict है. पता नहीं क्यों every time we are entangling with each other, whether it could be at home, whether it could be work, whether it could be with a neighbor, तो हम बार बार हमारा affirmation क्या बन जाता है? पता नहीं क्या प्रॉब्लम है, मेरी इनसे बनती नहीं है, जब देखो हमारी कुछ ना कुछ गड़बड़ हो जाती है, मेरी इनसे बनती नहीं है, आई डोंट गेट अलोंग विद दिस पर्सन हैज सम इश्यूज विद मी, पता नहीं उनको मेरे से क्या प्रॉब्लम है. दिस आर नॉर्मल वोकैबुलरी is an affirmation. And when I keep radiating these thoughts, this person is like this person has a problem with me, they're always trying to pull me down, they're always criticizing me, I don't seem to get along with them, I've tried enough, I cannot do it. Everything is an affirmation. Everything is a संकल्प. It is creating a reality. तो आपका रिश्ता जो आज है, what it is today, 1 year later, it's going to be weaker than what it is today because of all the vibrations that you create of what you are seeing today. So suppose the relationship is at 50% and repeatedly saying this, बनती नहीं, होता नहीं, ठीक नहीं, ऐसा नहीं, tomorrow it will go down. It will, has to be. That is absolute, this is science. This is not even spirituality. This is science. It is factual. You can see it happening. So the relationship will continue to decline. The body will continue to decline because I am repeating the current reality. So when I repeat the current reality, things will only go in the direction of what I'm thinking and speaking. So now, if I'm not getting along with someone, I will create an affirmation. This relationship stands on a very, very strong foundation. We accept each other unconditionally. We respect each other unconditionally. My family is united. Even if you think people are moving away, you start creating an affirmation. My family is united and will always be. कोई united नहीं होगा अभी, but our thought has to say, my family is united and will always be. संकल्प से सिद्धि. इसको तो घर पे कहीं लिख लेना चाहिए अच्छे से, so that we never forget the equation of life. Think that and speak that. Speak that also. So if somebody comes and says, "Oh, हो आपके घर में प्रॉब्लम हो रही है," बोलो कौन सी प्रॉब्लम है, कहाँ है प्रॉब्लम? हमारे घर में सब कुछ बढ़िया है. All is well is not just a line in a movie. It's not just a song. It was teaching us a belief system that if nothing is well, also you start thinking and believing that all is well, and you will make all is well. It will happen because energy radiates from our system into the outer world. So my relationships stand on a very, very strong foundation. Now you can create an affirmation for your work. Whatever targets you keep, whatever project you're working on, what you want to see yourself next year, you put an affirmation. It has already happened. I am fill in the blank, what you want to see yourself. Now, this is about creating magic in the outer world. But most important magic that we want to create is here. It's here. Because even if I achieve my deadline, my project, my career, a healthy body, beautiful relationships, I have to first be happy, peaceful, calm. So, what we do on the thinkright.me app is we use this equation, Sankalp Se Siddhi. We use the power of affirmations and visualizations to create miracles here, which means my strongest sanskar, let's say anger is my sanskar, or getting hurt very easily. Someone didn't say a right word, someone did not call me up, somebody did not invite me for their function, everybody else is gone. These छोटी छोटी बातें, but I say ये मेरी nature है, मुझे बुरा लग जाता है. Even someone doesn't acknowledge my social media post, हमें बुरा लग जाता है. So these little, so anger could be by nature, not reaching places on time could be my nature, getting hurt can be my nature, feeling manipulated, feeling rejected can be my sanskar, dominating, controlling people can be my sanskar, not being happy when someone else does well, so jealousy can be my sanskar. Now, what is a sanskar? A sanskar is a programming that's happened here, which I call my nature, my personality, mera vyaktitva. This, it's a programming here. Now, what will an affirmation do? I will start changing my thinking. So let's say my nature is uh, I'm not happy when other people do better than me around me. It creates a discomfort in myself. Why am I behind people? I have to go ahead. Now I have to create an affirmation for that. And I create an affirmation which says, I'm happy and contented with myself. One line. Second, I am very happy and I radiate blessings to everyone who is moving ahead on their journey of life. अब शुरू शुरू में तो ये ऐसे ही लगेगा, इसका कुछ मीनिंग ही नहीं लगेगा बोलने के टाइम, क्योंकि अंदर तो अच्छा लग नहीं रहा होगा और हम बोलेंगे आई एम हैप्पी व्हेन अदर पीपल डू वेल, एंड देन माय माइंड विल से झूठ बोल रहे हो बिकॉज आई एम नॉट हैप्पी, हाउ व्हाई डिड दे गेट मोर देन मी, आई वर्कड हार्डर. सो शुरू में इट्स गोइंग टू बी ऑल झूठ, बट झूठ ही तो बोलना है because I want to change my reality. So to change my reality, I have to create a thought which is going to look like a jhoot right now because that reality doesn't exist. But I know the science that what I will create will happen. So then I start changing my thinking. Suppose anger is my nature, then I will start creating a thought. I am a patient, peaceful, powerful being. Suppose I'm not able to give up some substance. किसी को अल्कोहल छोड़ना है, किसी को स्मोकिंग छोड़ना है, किसी को अपनी सुबह की चाय कॉफी छोड़नी हो सकती है. We could be wanting to give up any substance on which we have created a dependency. Then I create an affirmation. I am a powerful being. I eat and drink only that which is right for my body and only that much which is healthy for my body. आप ये प्रोग्रामिंग करते जाइए, मतलब सिर्फ सोचते और बोलते जाइए. एक महीने के बाद वो आपकी रियलिटी हो जाएगा. ये सर्टेन है, दिस इज सर्टेन. एंड द वर्ल्ड अराउंड यू विल से अरे मिरेकल, आप तो बहुत चेंज हो गए, आप तो बहुत चेंज हो गए. ये तो नॉर्मल था, कुछ करना ही नहीं था इसके अंदर. इट इज सो सिंपल. So what we do on the thinkright.me app is we have created an affirmation every day. Why it's so important? It's a very beautifully designed program because first thing in the morning when we wake up, there is a 3 or 4 minute audio which says your affirmations for you. Now, this is also like a content. It's very short. In fact, honestly, when we started, because on apps you cannot give very long content, and also the people used to say कि नहीं नहीं हमारे पास तो time ही नहीं है ज़्यादा. So I was used to it that content should be at least for 30 minutes on a daily basis or at least 20 minutes. And then we started this app with like 3 minutes. And initially I thought like 3 minutes में कैसे change आएगा किसी के अंदर. And The biggest surprise is for me. I have seen a lot of people telling me, oh, we've changed so much using thinkright.me app. And I was like, really? Changed using just the app? Yes, changed using just the app. I said, क्या किया उसमें? कुछ नहीं, सिर्फ सुबह 3 मिनट सुन लिया, रात को सोने से पहले 3 मिनट सुन लिया. ऐसे 3 मिनट में ही चेंज आ गया. हाँ, 3 मिनट में हमारे अंदर बहुत चेंज आ गया. So what is the evidence? The evidence is another equation. Emotional diet is what we watch, read, and listen. Emotional diet is what we watch, read, listen. And another equation which has to be put up in the house so that even the children get to read it every day. Emotional diet is what I watch, read, and listen. Because of all the content we consume every day, every platform, if anybody had to draw a graph of media versus emotional and mental health of the country and the world, they'll be able to see a direct connection between the two lines. Starting from, we are the generation who's seen an era without phones, without TV. So we can draw the graph. From there to the first TV, to the first mobile, to the first TV serials, which was one episode per week, to the TV serials, one episode every day, to digital content, 10 episodes you can watch in one day. This is content consumption. So that's the graph. And with that, you'll get the graph of the emotional and mental health. They'll go like this. This goes like this, and this goes like this. Simple, because it's emotional diet. Emotional diet. So every day, we should have a very rich, which means a very pure, powerful, high energy emotional diet every morning. Every morning. न्यू ईयर गिफ्ट, न्यू ईयर आदतें सोच रहे होंगे ना, नए साल में कौन सी चेंज करनी है, आज से ही चेंज कर लेते हैं. फर्स्ट आवर ऑफ द मॉर्निंग should not be consuming any wrong content from the world. Do not consume the world onto your mind. The mind is like a blotting paper in the morning. Absorption power is very high. Don't absorb the world onto the mind, which means world news, social media handles, um, work communication should also not be on the mind in the first hour. The first hour should be for the self, for the self. So beginning with gratitude and then beginning the day with affirmations. So consume that affirmation first thing in the morning, and then contemplate on that. Along with the affirmation, visualize it. Today Sunday, spend some time online just studying power of affirmation and power of visualization. Power of visualization. Every actor, every sports person, every business leader, scientist, they all use this power of visualization in manifesting what they want to create in the real world. Spiritual people and meditators use the same power of affirmation and visualization to manifest what they want in the inner world. The method is the same. It all depends where you want to create what you want to create. But the method is affirmation plus visualization, and that is called meditation. Affirmation plus visualization is called meditation. So we begin the day with that affirmation. We begin the day with very, very pure, positive content. Then we hold on to that during the day. So during the day, there are notifications which will remind us, this is what you have chosen to be today. So it's like a friend who handholds us and say, oh, today you're on a diet, you're going to be like this. And so we remember, and when we are like that, and then just before we go to sleep, we again consume the right content. So the app again gives us a 5-minute content before we go to sleep, because the last layer of information before we go to sleep is going to get processed by the subconscious in the next 6 hours. It's very, very important. Very, very careful about content in the first hour of the morning and content in the last hour before you sleep. These 2 hours are crucial time for the mind. News channels will say their highest TRP is early morning and late night. So these are our little mistakes. We want to know what's happening in the world, but we don't need to know it first thing in the morning or the last thing before we go to sleep. The first hour of the morning content will influence the day, because subconscious mind is open, activated after the sleep. Whatever we consume goes in. The last hour of the night, what we consume will go into the subconscious during our sleep. So that's why these 2 hours are very crucial, very, very, very important for emotional and mental health. So don't even have work communication going on in these 2 hours. We have the whole day to work. पूरा दिन है हमारे पास काम करने के लिए. ये सुबह सुबह उठकर ये सब नहीं देखना चाहिए. Our mind needs to have this space to recharge, to reset, to energize, to be creative, to be intuitive, and then to give the best to our work during the day. It's like charging your battery in the morning and then using it during the day. But if you start using it in the morning and you say, I have no time to charge it, then it's not going to give you the best during the day. So the morning time is to charge just before going to sleep again to reset. And that's why the app is now coming up with a very beautiful feature, which is about a daily journal, which means empty out your emotions before you go to sleep and create your affirmation for yourself. Heal your mind before you go to sleep. Don't sleep with any of the wrong emotions that were created during the day. याद है पहले परिवार में कहते थे झगड़ा हुआ है सोने से पहले अपना झगड़ा ठीक कर लो. Don't take your arguments and fights to bed. Meaning is, don't take any emotional wound to bed. Don't go to sleep with it. That's why हमें बातें भूलती नहीं है. हम कहते हैं 20 साल पहले वो हुआ था, भूला ही नहीं अभी तक. सुबह का नाश्ता भूल गया, लेकिन 20 साल पहले वाली बात नहीं भूली. Because before going to sleep, we did not heal that. We just went to sleep with those thoughts. They said this to me, they said this to me, they did it in front of everybody, and we went off to sleep. So that was our affirmation before we went to sleep. So obviously 20 years हो गए हमें वो बात exactly याद है because it's gone inside. Now just before you sleep, if you heal that situation in your mind, उन्होंने बोल दिया their behavior. I am a powerful being, peaceful being. I radiate love and blessings. It's over for me. Just दो तीन अच्छी अच्छी लाइनें बोलनी होती है अपने आप को. ये माइंड बड़ा प्यारा सा है, ये मान जाता है फटाफट. इसको आप बोलो उन्होंने ऐसे कैसे बोल दिया, I'll never forgive them. The mind says, okay जी, we will never forgive them. And we never forgive them. And we never forget. And आप सोने से पहले उसको बोल दो, बोल दिया ना, बोल दिया, छोड़ दे, कोई बात नहीं. We are happy. We'll radiate blessings to them. The mind says, okay जी. So the mind is actually your best friend, your most obedient energy that you have. It is it's the only one thing which is in your control, actually, our mind. It's the only one thing which is completely in our control. The only way is we need to learn how to use it the right way. And that's what this app is teaching us. It's a very beautiful journey. And there are a lot of apps, but the beauty of this journey is a daily, daily giving fresh content, daily hand holding. Every time during the day, many times a hand holding. So that's a very unique feature, which we don't find in too many other programs. So, and that is what is needed on emotional journey. It's needed because we're surrounded with a lot of different vibrations around us. So take care of content consumption in the morning and in the night. And even during the day, please restrict content consumption. Gift yourself this new habit. Restrict what you are going to consume from all media and social media platforms. If we are going to consume content of lust, anger, greed, jealousy, ego, then that's whom we are going to become. Nobody can stop us from becoming that if we are consuming that content. Like the body becomes what we eat, the mind becomes what we watch, read, listen. What we watch, read, listen. So there's a lot of dieting that needs to happen here, which means content restriction. And definitely consume content which has purity, compassion, faith, acceptance, cooperation. Very, very important. The sooner the affirmation of competition gets out of our system, we'll create a very beautiful world. Very beautiful world. So these two times are very important. Never have your meals with phone and TV. Make that a culture of the house. No meals with phone and TV. Mindful eating. We are what we eat. So you say your affirmation just before you eat. Say your affirmation just before you eat. Just a shorter version, 2, 3 lines. Say it before you eat. Say it before you have your glass of water. Say it before you have your cup of milk, tea, coffee. Because food and water absorbs the thoughts. जैसा अन्न वैसा मन, जैसा पानी वैसी वाणी. You are what you eat means the vibrations of what I eat is who I become. Experimenting with the vegetarian diet. Most of us are on the vegetarian diet right now during COVID because, again, vibrations of food. Animal in a slaughterhouse, vibrations, anger, fear, restlessness, helplessness, violence, and death. That's not the energy to nourish the mind with. It's proteins, but it's not health. It's proteins. A lot of difference between the two things. It's proteins. So experimenting with the vegetarian diet, and just before you eat, say your affirmation, and say your affirmation before your every glass of water. Water absorbs energy the most. Water. पानी सबसे ज़्यादा absorb करता है. Another thing to study online, water memory. Water memory. Scientifically proved everything that water absorbs our vibrations. Suppose हमने एक ग्लास पानी ऐसे पकड़ा हुआ है या हम चाय पी रहे हैं and we are talking and we are saying देखो ना उन्होंने ऐसा बोल दिया उनको ऐसा तो कहना नहीं चाहिए था जो इसको देखो कुछ भी बोल देता है that's all. My cup of tea and my glass of water has absorbed it, and after I drink it, my hurt will only increase. So be very careful of what you're thinking or saying when you are eating or drinking. That's why we were taught to begin with a prayer, begin with gratitude, say powerful thoughts, take water, say those powerful thoughts, then sprinkle it on our food. These all had scientific principles behind it. Scientific principles behind it. हम अभी क्या करते हैं एक हाथ में प्लेट दूसरे हाथ में टीवी का रिमोट तीसरा हाथ होता तो फोन भी साथ में पकड़ लेते लेकिन उसको साइड पे रख लेते हैं सो ऑल दीज लिटिल लिटिल हैबिट्स वेरी लिटिल इतनी छोटी छोटी बातें हैं ना ऐसा लगता है कितनी छोटी बातें हैं बट एक्चुअली बिग प्रॉब्लम्स do not need big solutions. They need only small solutions, but done on a daily basis. Done on a daily basis. Small things done on a daily basis will create big miracles in the world. Big miracles in the world. So our affirmations for COVID time. For COVID time. I am a powerful being. I'm a powerful being, which means emotional independence. I am a happy being. And I am a fearless being. Fearless, nidar, nirbhay. I am a fearless being. Fourth, my body is perfect and healthy and will always be. My body, कभी गलती से सपने में भी नहीं बोलना मुझे हो गया तो that is also an affirmation. That's also an affirmation. मैंने मुझे नहीं हो सकता आई एम परफेक्ट एंड हेल्दी अगर हो गया तो वैसे भी ठीक हो जाएंगे लेकिन हम सोचें क्यों कि हो जाएगा सो माई बॉडी इज परफेक्ट एंड हेल्दी एंड विल ऑलवेज बी फिफ्थ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट God's power and blessings is a circle of protection around me. Please visualize divine light circle around you. Nothing can enter into this circle, which means no low vibrational energy. Sixth, draw that circle around your family. Don't worry about your family. Bless your family with affirmations. So draw an energy circle around your children. Draw it around your family. Draw it around your work. Protect your work instead of thinking kaisa ho gaya naukri chali gayi. Don't create these affirmations. My work is safe and secure. God's power and blessings circle of protection around my work. And then last affirmation around the planet. Bless the world. God's power and blessings is a circle of protection around the planet. So 8, 10 thoughts, first thing in the morning, last thing before going to sleep, and every time when we eat and we drink our water, tea and coffee. And then when you start using the Think Right app, you will get an affirmation daily and a lot of meditation exercises with that. Thank you so much. Om Shanti.
Thank you so much, Didi. It was so wonderful to hear you once again. वो आप बोलती ना छोटी छोटी बातें हैं, but since I've been part of the Think Right Me app, these छोटी छोटी बातें every day at 5 a.m. in the morning, they've made such a huge difference in my lives. And I remember that you started with the affirmation saying we are going to use thinkrite.me to change 7 billion lives,
Yes.
right? So we've reached only a part of the way, but it always, it's so empowering that when you see thousands of people meditating on the app in the morning, it's such an empowering feeling that we have. So I know there are a lot of requests that people want to ask you questions. We have 30 minutes for it. But before we jump into it, I just want to take this opportunity to introduce people to the thinkrite.me app. So we'll play just a very short video, and then we'll be back with questions.
If you were to describe me in a nutshell, I'm a working professional by day and traveler at heart. Trekking is my favorite travel plan, and I try and trek as often as possible. My most anticipated trek was a trek to Rupkund in Uttarakhand, but fate had some other plans for me. On the trek, I had a major accident, falling and slipping into the valley. Lucky for me, I was rescued, but then began the most difficult journey of my life, the road to recovery. The doctors were not satisfied with the progress of my recovery. My physiotherapist discussed the importance of mental well being, and she suggested I try holistic healing. That conversation was an eye opener. I had to pull myself together. Online research led me to thinkrite.me. I began following Sister Shivani. I would listen to the daily journeys on a regular basis. The different situations in the daily journeys were quite relatable. It helped me understand and deal with my emotions better. One of my best decisions was to dedicate 5 minutes of my morning and evening towards my emotional well being. Somewhere along the way, my body responded and recovery began. Think Right Now is a part of my daily life, and I recommend it strongly to all my friends and family. It's a magic medicine, and I'm thankful to thinkrite.me for changing my life.
So now we will be opening the platform for questions. So there is a chat box. People who are on Zoom, they can type in the chat box. People who are on YouTube, they can type in the public chat. Given the constraint of time, we will pick up a few questions and we will have Didi answer them. But as people type their questions, maybe Didi, I can kickstart with a question from my side. So, so we're using thinkrite.me app. Our team is very integrated with the thinking. But every day it happens that when I'm on my morning walk, right, I will meet a neighbor who's a real estate guy. He's lost nearly everything, because he's a huge amount of debt. There's no earnings. Or you meet a restaurant buddy of yours, his restaurant was closed and he's suffering. Or you meet other people who've been in some ways affected in 2020. People use this word ki maine 2020 ko wipe out kar diya hai. I'm not going to remember it in my life, right? So when you meet these people, obviously you're blessing them and you're giving them the right vibration. What do you think will be a very effective way to help these people, who are not on the thinkrite.me path at the moment? How can we bring them on this path? What is a good way to help them, and what is a good way that we can heal them now, so that 2021 is actually a beautiful, powerful, joyful year for them?
People could be saying that who are our friends. They could also be our family members. Sometimes
Sure.
even family around us could not be very happy with their 2020. 2020 is not a year to forget. 2020 is a year to learn a lot from. If we forget it, then we wouldn't have learned what we had to learn. And
Sure.
once the vaccine is out and things are back to normal, if we forget our lessons from this year, then I don't think then we may be equipped if there's ever any other situation in my life which is not my way. Situations don't need to be global, they can be personal. They can be a family situation. And there were situations even before COVID. COVID only turned out to be a global situation. And that's why, we have everyone talking about it at the same time. But there are a lot of years in people's lives when not the right things happened in their life. There could be things that happen in the future. We're not sure about the outer world. We need to be certain about the inner world. So if there's someone around us who's feeling low, who's not being, don't worry for them, because when we worry, then we radiate even more negative energy to them. So they're already in pain and then we radiate more pain to them. Even if they are not doing an affirmation or they are not doing meditation, we can do for them. We can meditate for them. We can create an affirmation for them. So if somebody is saying something like this to you, we immediately need to create an opposite thought and send it there. Radiate a message to them that no, 2020 has been a year of learning. This is only an outer situation, your work, your hotel, your real estate. This is an outer situation. You are a happy, powerful soul, and you are going to create a miracle next year. Just bless them in your mind, and then you continue with your work, so that you don't absorb what they are saying, but you radiate what they will then absorb and then take it forward. It's like a prasad. याद है जब हमें प्रसाद मिलता है, we never eat our prasad like this. We go like this and like this and like this, and everyone we meet on the way gets our prasad from us. So prasad means radiate these blessings to everybody, everyone we meet. And every morning when we meditate, we should meditate for the world. There should definitely be a meditation in the morning for the world, where you visualize the whole world, where you visualize people who've gone through the illness, where you visualize all those who are in the front line taking care of them, where you visualize families you've lost a member, where you visualize people who've lost homes. So just visualize and radiate. Radiate God's power and blessings, good wishes, happiness, and love from you. Don't think it doesn't work. It works.
Sure.
Vibrations reach.
Sure. Thank you so much. So I'll hand it over to Jyoti, who will ask you some questions on behalf of our users. So over to you, Jyoti.
Thank you so much, Anubhav. Didi, it's always a pleasure listening to you. It's so eye-opening every single time. We'll start with the first question. It's from Dr. Sai Kaushtav Das Gupta, who has been associated with Think Right for a while and has a very inspiring story himself. He's asking us how to continue and have consistency level in our spiritual practices in this year, and how can we make our new version to contribute newly in our spiritual growth.
uh, like we take care of our body, same way taking care of our mind should be a natural part of our life. Just natural. जैसे हम रोज खाना खाते हैं, हम रोज रात को सोते हैं, हम रोज नहाते धोते हैं. These are 13 things we've done right from day one. There's not been a single day when we haven't. हाँ, हम एक आधा दिन रह सकते हैं without eating. You can stay 1 day, 2 days. Without sleeping, we can stay one night. But how much more than that? Similarly, meditation, affirmations, consuming a spiritual diet, these should be our daily practices. And anything done on a daily basis, that equation which Rajan shared with us, 1.01. We don't need to do too much, just 0.01. You add that 0.01 to your life every day, and then he shared the equation 37 times. We have created a change. So 0.01% in your diet, 0.01% in your exercise, 0.01 you started an affirmation, 0.01 you restricted content consumption, 0.01 you stopped looking at content in the night before going to sleep, 0.01 no phones and TV while eating, zero point zero 0.01 vegetarian sattvic diet, 0.01. That's it. To create big miracles, we needed only small changes, zero point zero 0.01. So just remember that equation, that 1.01. But then he also shared the opposite. If we don't create that zero point zero 0.01 in that right direction, automatically influence of environmental vibrations, we might shift zero point zero 0.01 in the opposite direction because we get influenced by the energy of the world. So if I do not consciously shift myself zero point zero 0.01 up, unaware, I might shift zero point zero 0.01 down. And if I shift zero point zero 0.01 down, then that changes also. So just that zero point zero 0.01. Don't never take spiritual practices like a pressure. Just make those little changes, and only thing required is daily. So the word is daily. Daily. Anything small done daily will create magic for you.
Thanks, Didi. The next question is from Shivani. She says, Om Shanti Didi, how can one change deep-rooted sanskar of procrastination and getting disheartened very soon since childhood?
I am a powerful being. I'm accurate at everything I do. I do everything before time and I complete my task accurately. Let today be the last time you have said that procrastination is my habit, because that's also an affirmation. So don't say it after this. Don't say it after this. Don't think it. Just start thinking and speaking. I do everything that I have to do accurately and I complete it before time because I'm a powerful being. Think it, speak it, create it, and manifest it. Just make this as your affirmation.
Shivani, I hope you've got the answer to your question. Next is from Rupali Ikbote. She says, how do you know that you're loving yourself enough? Is it putting your life's priority before your family's? How do you separate it from being selfish?
Loving yourself is not about time. Loving yourself is about how you speak in your mind. It's about how you speak in your mind. We need only one person to be kind to us, only one person to be nice to us, only one person to love us, and that person is here. So even if something is not happening right in your life, how you think about it is your inner conversation. When you love someone, how do you talk to them? If nothing is going right in your life, you won't go and say to them, your life is a mess, you are no good, you cannot do anything, I fear your destiny. Do we go and talk to them like that? No, we love them. So we go and say to them, कुछ नहीं होता, ये सब ठीक हो जाएगा. You are brave, you are strong, you are intelligent, you are talented, success is certain for you. These are all affirmations. These are the affirmations which we go and say to them because we love them. If we start saying these to ourselves, say nice words to yourself because your mind is listening to what you are saying. So say nice words to yourself. That is self love. That is self healing. It doesn't mean doing only what you think is right, even if your family doesn't agree with you, just thinking only about yourself. Self love is not thinking about yourself, it's about thinking right about everything that's happening in your life. That is self love and self healing.
Pali, I hope you have understood the path to self healing now. Next question is from Manjul Sharma. Now she's asking how to bring life to normal after losing a loved one in family.
When someone moves forward on their journey, सबसे important है कि we should remember it's the body which is no more, the soul is eternal. जिस दिन वो गए थे, पंडित जी आए थे घर पे, पंडित जी ने कहा था आत्मा अजर है, अमर है, अविनाशी है. Soul energy is eternal. Soul doesn't die. So never say they have died. No, just say their body is no more. This is also a vocabulary. Don't say they are no more. Their body is no more. They are very much there. They have only taken a new costume, which means a new body. But everything that you are thinking and everything that you are speaking is radiating to them. It's radiating to them. The soul in the womb of the mother absorbs all the vibrations coming from the previous family. Be very careful. Remember them, you will always do, but not with pain, with love, with gratitude, with blessings, which means every thought and every day you must create one thought for them. Say, we are fine here. We are taking care of ourselves. You don't worry about us. We are all stable. And we radiate blessings to you and gratitude to you. Don't say, आप कैसे चले गए? आप हमें कैसे छोड़ के चले गए? आपके बिना तो हम रह नहीं सकते. You visualize, just visualize that soul in the womb. They cannot come back, but they get to hear these messages. How could you go away? How could you leave me? I do not want to live without you. Never send a message like that. Never. We have to help them forward on their journey, and that's by radiating the right message. We are fine, we are stable, we are taking care of the family, and we radiate gratitude to you and lots of love and blessings always. This message going from you to the soul in the womb is going to start their next journey on a very, 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 very powerful note. They are creating their new body. Please remember, in the womb, the soul is creating their new body. What energy do you want to radiate? It should be energy of health. And energy of health would be love, gratitude, not how could you left this incomplete, आप ये पूरा नहीं करके गए, आपने ये नहीं किया. These are not the thoughts to send them. And when you create these vibrations, you will be healed, your family will be healed, and most important, the soul in the new costume will get healed and begin the journey on a very, very powerful note for a very beautiful destiny.
Thank you, Didi. I think we have time for one more question. It's from Mehak. She's saying, Om Shanti Didi, how do we separate our personal life emotions from our professional life? It's affecting the work as well as mental health. I think this year.
You cannot separate your mind. Your mind is going to go with you, whether you are at home, whether you are at work. You cannot, when you're entering your house in the evening from work, you can't leave your mind and your thoughts outside. And in the morning, when you're entering your workplace, you cannot leave your personal life issues which are in your mind outside. There's no way. It's all here. It's in our energy field. It's in our aura. We are walking, talking, moving radiators of energy. So whatever you create at work during the day, if you're creating stress, anger, irritation, when you reach home in the evening, you are an energy field that is entering your house. Before you even speak, before you even gift your child something that you got for them on the way, your vibrations have entered the house. They have absorbed your emotional energy. That's why the emotional health of children today is affected, not because there is competition, not because there is a lot of pressure at school. It's because their parents are not creating and carrying home every evening very, very happy energy. So it's very important. You cannot shift your emotions like that, which means you cannot be a different person, but you only have to create the right emotions, whether you are at work or whether you are at home or whether you are alone. You can be alone, nobody can be with you, but you should be creating the right thing here. Then, wherever you go, whatever you do, whoever you meet, your right, pure, powerful vibrations are energizing people. So you cannot separate yourself. There's no identity separation that now I'm home, now I'm going to be like this, now I'm work. No. Mind is the same going everywhere. It's the seed. Again, please keep this picture in front of you. It's the seed. The seed is nourishing your tree. So if the seed is happy at home, then you will go to work happy and nourish it. If the seed is stressed at work, you will go to home and your seed will radiate that stress to the family. So it's the seed. The tree is everything else in your life. The seed is here.
Thank you so much, Didi. I will now request Anubhav to say a few words, and over to you, Anubhav, now.
Thank you so much, Didi, for sharing these valuable insights. We're always grateful for your guidance and support. For all of us who are in this webinar, if we want to remain connected with this wonderful and powerful way of living that Didi has outlined for us, I will request that you download the thinkrite.me app and try it for yourself and see if it makes a big difference. I'm sure it will. So because we are celebrating our second anniversary, we have a special offer for all of you. So when you subscribe when you do the annual subscription on the app, you will get an additional 3 months. So you will have a 15th month access. We also have regular webinars for our subscribers. Our next webinar is on 10th of January. And that session will be anchored by Dr. Avdesh Sharma, who's a very well-known consultant on well-being. He's a psychiatrist, and he's a media personality, and he's worked extensively on print, radio, and television, and he has anchored a lot of popular shows like Mind Watch and Man Ki Baat. So please, I look forward to seeing you all on the app and in the subsequent webinars. I want to thank everyone, all of you, for joining us for this wonderful session by Sister Shivani. I look forward to seeing you in the webinars in the future, and I wish you all a very happy, a very healthy, and a very joyful 2021. For now, thank you very much.
I think if anyone has any questions which were not answered, they can leave their questions there and we will email the answer to them if they leave it with an email ID.
Thank you very much.